U.S. oil production has nearly doubled in the last few years. It's all because of two states, Texas and North Dakota. Well, the U.S. now ranks third in global production behind Russia and Saudi Arabia. But if you break out just those two states, their combined output would make them the world's fifth largest oil nation. And it's all because of new technologies, making it possible to tap into the oceans of shale oil held by deep rock formations. And along with all that new oil and gas comes thousands of new jobs. Stu Varney is the host of Varney and Company on the Fox Business Network and my guest today. Wow, so Texas and North Dakota together would be the fifth largest so-called country?
Who would have thought?
Oil? I mean, this was just an amazing headline to me.
This is a huge American success story. It is American technology which has created this energy revolution. I'll give you three things. If we go on like this with this fracking and this horizontal drilling, if we keep doing this, we are energy independent a few years from now.
A few?
A few years from now. If we keep on going like this, within 2 or 3 years, we will be the largest oil-producing nation in the world, beating the Russians, beating the Saudi Arabians.
See, that's fascinating to me to hear you say that, because I believe that our generation, and even the generation below us, just believes that the U.S. is way down on the list on oil production, because we feel like we're being held captive by Saudi Arabia and other nations, right?
Well, you've got to catch up with the latest numbers. Big-time fracking arrived in North Dakota and parts of Texas in 2010. And in 2011, those two states were producing about 2 million barrels of oil a day. Within 2 years, it was 4 million barrels of oil a day. That's a doubling just in those two states. Keep on going like this. Keep on employing all of these people, and you've got energy independence within shouting distance, and you're going to be the top producing oil nation in the world, bar none.
I think we have a graphic, actually, to show that in Texas and North Dakota alone, it's almost the same amount as the entire country.
Yes,
right?
It is. They're about half of the total production of oil in the United States of America.
Okay, now what does this do for jobs? Because I've heard people say in North Dakota, you can't get a hotel room, you know, business is just booming. Car sales are just over the top, right?
Yes.
It's all because of this?
It is all because of fracking, hydraulic fracturing of the shale rock deep underground, and this you see, with horizontal drilling, you don't just go straight down and put your straw into the big pool at the bottom. You go down and then you go sideways in lots of different directions. So your catchment area is much bigger, so your oil production is much bigger.
What about the critics, though, Stuart? Because, you know, a lot of people say fracking is dangerous, we just don't know yet. I mean, even the New York governor has stayed out of it for New York because, well, it's probably a political reason. But are there any dangers?
Yes, there is an intense local opposition to fracking. It's becoming more of a problem in Pennsylvania, which has been fracking for years, but local opposition is growing. They say it messes up the groundwater, and there's a lot of noise from the trucks and the actual fracking itself. New York State still has pretty much a moratorium on fracking, even though it sits on top of billions of barrels of oil and a lot of natural gas. And then you have the federal government. President Obama is not fully on board with maximizing fossil fuel production in the United States of America. He sides with the environmentalists who say, cut this fossil production because we've got a global warming problem, and this adds to it.
One thing we're not going to cut is Stu Varney joining me on The Real Story.
Good
And be sure to check him out on the Fox Business Network tomorrow. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Gretchen.